Friends, we are in Kislovodsk. Kislovodsk is one of the sunniest cities in our country. Of course, in the summer this statement sounds more convincing, but even in winter, the sun is not at all a rare guest in this wonderful resort city. So, if you are a fan of sunbathing, this is definitely the place for you. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Yes, this is Kislovodsk and, yes, this is winter. Let's walk around together, breathe in the air, and admire the local beauties. And, along the way, we'll get to know this wonderful city better. I don't know about you, but for me, a resident of Central Russia, when I walk down the street squinting in the generous sun, I get the full feeling that it's April outside. Well, at the very least, the end of March. And if it weren't for the festive New Year trees on the streets and the daily New Year's performances, I think few people would guess that the New Year holidays are in full swing.
Kislovodsk is a resort city of federal significance. It is located in the Stavropol Krai of the Russian Federation. It is known, one might even say famous, for its mineral springs, especially Narzan.
The name Narzan has ancient origins. It goes back to the phrase Nart-sane, which translates to drink of the Narts. The mythical heroes, mighty bogaters, whom some peoples of the North Caucasus consider their ancestors. And one of the most popular places where you can constantly refuel with this undoubtedly healthiest drink for our bodies is the Narzan Gallery, located on Kurortny Boulevard. While walking through the central part of Kislovodsk, you definitely can't miss it.
Kislovodsk is the southernmost city of the Stavropol Krai, situated in a picturesque mountain valley, at an altitude of 700 to 1,200 meters above sea level. The city is part of the Caucasian Mineral Waters Resort region.
St. Nicholas Cathedral is the main church of the Kislovodsk Deanery. The cathedral is located on Mira Avenue. Initially, it was a wooden church on the territory of the fortress, dedicated to St. Nicholas the Wonderworker. It appeared in Kislovodsk back in 1803. The stone St. Nicholas Cathedral was built at the end of the 19th century. In 1936, the church building was blown up. St. Nicholas Cathedral was rebuilt only at the end of the 90s of the last century. Speaking about the aforementioned fortress, Kislýe Voda Kislovodsk Fortress, erected within cannon-shot distance of the discovered Narzan Spring, It is impossible not to note that it served as the cornerstone for the founding of the city of Kislovodsk.
The founders and first residents of Kislovodsk were Russian soldiers who, after serving their required term in the Kislýe Vody fortress, built here in 1803 by decree of Emperor Alexander I, remained here to live.
Оставались здесь жить.
The entire city of Kislovodsk is located on mountains. The center is small and compact, but to get from one point to another you constantly have to move either up or down. Winter in Kislovodsk is mild and dry with unstable snow cover. Snowfalls sometimes occur, but the snow usually does not lie for long. The city of Kislovodsk is second in Russia, after Sochi, in the number of health resorts. And it is the largest in the Caucasian mineral waters region. The main part of Kislovodsk's economy is the resort sector. The city is home to more than 40 sanatoriums and hotels. Half of the population is employed in the service sector. The terrain is mountainous, cut by ravines and gullies. The mountains surrounding Kislovodsk form its special microclimate. But despite the fact that the city is located in a deep valley between mountains, the air there never stagnates. All this is thanks to the fresh air currents coming through the river gorges. We were very impressed by the Kislovodsk underground passages. Music is playing everywhere and there are such beautiful pictures.
Очень приятные переходы в Кисловодск.
The city is very green. It has many squares and flower beds, but the special decoration and pride of Kislovodsk is the Kislovodsk National Park.
And how can one not be proud of the fact that Kislovodsk Park is the largest urban park in Europe? But what's even more amazing is that it is the only park, not only in Europe but also in the whole world, that is completely man-made. The story is this. More than 200 years ago, in 1823, by order of the famous Russian General Alexei Petrovich Yermolov, soldiers of the Kislovodsk fortress garrison began work on laying out a park on the slopes of the Kislovodsk mountains, which were almost completely devoid of forest cover. Just imagine. In order to plant trees on the rocky banks of the Alkavka River, fertile black soil was brought here from Crimea, Tiflis, Tbilisi, and Riga. In addition, the best varieties of vegetable and flower seeds, tree seedlings, and shrubs were delivered to Kislovodsk from all over the country. Friends, want to feel some zen? By all means. During the day, leisurely walks along the park's alleys and therapeutic trails to Renkers. In the evening, a delicious dinner, fragrant hot coffee, and live violin in a cozy coffee shop. Another attraction of Kislovodsk is the Garden of Stones. A craftsman, Vitalik, known among locals as Gravitalik, builds pyramids from stones of different sizes. The stones hold on to each other solely due to the forces of gravity and brilliantly executed balancing without any fasteners. Simply a miracle.
Возможно поставить. Блин.
А мой сверху.
Ну это дорого. Спасибо.
Friends, I want to show you a piece of the non-parade Kislovodsk. The non-touristy part. Once, it happened that I lost a glove. We went to buy new gloves at the Crystal shopping center, which is located on Gorky Street, a bit off the usual tourist routes. We bought gloves, and also found out that the non-parade part of the city also looks quite decent and pleasant. Thank you, dear viewers, for watching the video to the end. Be sure to hit the like button, share your impressions of the video in the comments, and, why not, subscribe to the channel, Pictures from the Hinterlands. Peace and love to everyone.